welcome to In the Kitchen with Mary Mac. Today, we're going to talk about the French Toast Connection, which sounds like a really awesome spy movie, but actually is just French toast. I make French toast fairly often, especially for holidays. Today was Mother's Day, so I made brunch, and I had French toast at our brunch. We really love it. It's made with a bread that I make that is, I call it oatmeal wheat germ because it has oatmeal and wheat germ in it.
So creative.
I know. I don't know how I think of these things. I think and think, what should I call it? But I use my oatmeal wheat germ bread. It's very sweet. Because of the oatmeal in it, it gives it a sweet flavor and it's very moist, but yet it's a grainy bread. So it's really a good hearty bread. It makes a very good French toast. I offer it in a bread mix. Someday if I ever get my ducks in a row and have a web store and I'm selling bread mixes online, that would be a good idea, which hopefully will be soon.
I can do it the minute you give me shipping info.
Did you have to say that out loud on a podcast?
I can edit it.
Like it's my fault now. It's totally my fault.
I'm the editor. I can take it out.
You won't take it out. You leave it in there just to burn me.
Maybe.
Okay. But soon we will offer bread mixes online, which I talked a lot about the bread mixes on here. And my other baking mix, I did a program on the oat bran muffin mixes. As you can see, there's a pattern. I really like oats and oat bran and stuff. But anyway, the oatmeal wheat germ bread is a very good bread. I also sell it at Standing Chimney, and generally when I'm out and about, which I have a new Twitter account going now. It's called Mobile Mary Mac, and what I'm going to do with that is tell you where I'm at when I'm out at different events with a booth set up. Generally, I'm in Lawrence County, but sometimes I do go outside of Lawrence County for a few different things. So if I am, I'll tell you where I'm going to be and what I'm going to have there. So if you were wanting to, come and possibly get some oatmeal wheat germ bread so that you could make this delicious French toast that I'm about to tell you about, that could actually happen. My French toast recipe is a little different than most. It's not super fancy. It's pretty simple. For a normal family, unlike mine, which would have 7 people eating French toast, if you have maybe 2 or 3 people eating French toast, you wouldn't want to make the enormous amount that I make. So this is the recipe for the normal amount of people who would be eating it. 2 eggs, beaten, half a cup of milk, a half teaspoon of vanilla, and a 1/4 teaspoon of cinnamon, and you mix that up, and that's going to be your French toast batter. Now, the great thing about French toast is, if you wanted to double this, and say you wanted to make a lot of French toast so that you could freeze some of it, that is an excellent idea, because you can freeze slices of French toast individually, and then put them into a container, and they're really great for a quick breakfast or dinner. You just take them out and put them in your toaster or toaster oven, and it works really well. My kids do that very often. It's a nice breakfast before school, and if you don't want to do it in the traditional way of having French toast with syrup, you can take your French toast, butter, put some sugar or cinnamon sugar on it, and just be on your way, and it's a little heartier than a regular piece of toast. Anyway, that's a good tip. If you're going to make it, I always figure if you're going to make it, you might as well make extra. So anyway, in the event that you do not have my delicious oatmeal wheat germ bread, you can use any bakery bread, I would say. If you would buy, say, Saloni's sliced bread, that would probably work just fine. Or a good quality Italian store bread tends to be denser. You can use whole wheat bakery bread. The Wonder Bread types of breads don't work well because they're too moist already, and you need to have a bread that's, first of all, a little thicker than normal, and secondly, it needs to be what they call a day-old bread, which is not necessarily just a day-old, but a little on the stale side helps out a lot because you want the bread to soak up your batter. Basically, whatever bread you choose to use, you can use a homemade bread, a bakery bread, but you're going to want to slice it maybe a 1/2 inch thick, so it holds up to the dipping. Okay, and when you cook it, you can cook it on a griddle or in a skillet. You want to have it on a medium heat, and I usually put butter in the skillet and melt it. You don't want your skillet to get real hot because your butter will burn, but put the butter in the skillet and use that for your non-stick coating stuff, because it gives a good flavor to it as well. So you're going to dip your bread. Don't let it soak in the bowl. Just dip it. Put it in the skillet, brown on both sides, and serve it warm. And some great things you can serve on it is fresh fruit, strawberries. As you know from my previous podcasts, I really am liking strawberries these days. So fresh strawberries, prepared kind of like I had said for strawberry shortcake a few shows back. You're going to just take your strawberries and either slice them up thin or cut them up and then smash them. You can smash them or not smash them. But put just a little bit of sugar, not very much, just enough to draw some juice up. And then you can put that on your French toast with some whipped cream. Maple syrup is always delicious on French toast. Another thing that I like to do is just butter and either raw sugar or powdered sugar. It's really good. And here's a good thing also. If you're not familiar with fruit curds, fruit curd is delicious on French toast. And what it is, it's a fruit spread, generally citrus in nature, and it's a fruit spread that is made with butter, egg yolks, and sugar, and it's cooked and thickened. It kind of reminds you of lemon meringue pie filling texture, like that, and you can get it in a variety of flavors. Typically it's lemon and lime. There's a company called Curdalicious that's from eastern Pennsylvania, very near to Lancaster, curdalicious.com. And they make several different flavors of curd. It's just like really good ingredients. Sugar, lemon juice, whole eggs, butter, and it's a good quality curd. But anyway, that's something you might want to try too. If you get really, really adventurous, you can go check out my Mary Mac Bakehouse Facebook page, where I have photographs and complete instructions on how to make lemon curd. It was sort of like a very long chemistry experiment that I took pictures of, and it was harder than I thought it was going to be, but it actually came out. It was very tasty stuff, but it took me several tries to get it right. It's an interesting thing to make. It's not hard to make. It's interesting. It's very interesting to make. It's not hard. But that's our French toast connection recipe there. And I actually did this. I was telling Anna a few years ago, I had a booth at a farm market, a local farm market, for about 6 years. And one year they were having all these live cooking demos. So they asked me if I would do a live cooking demo. And I said, sure. And I thought, well, I'll do French toast because, of course, it was strawberry season. And I thought that'll be great. I'll do my French toast demo. So I had all my stuff set up like Julia Child, and all underneath the shelves, all ready to go. And they usually at the farmer's market that I did, they had live music there. But when they had a cooking event, they didn't have live music. And they would set up the sound system and just play like radio music on the sound system. So several of my friends came to watch me do my live cooking demo. And one of my friends brought her son along, and as I was preparing to go up and do the demo, a certain band was playing that I don't really care for very much, and their song was on, and it happened to be The Police. I just don't like The Police at all. It's a long story, but I was tortured by their music one time, and I just can't take it. But anyway, the song was playing was that SOS, sending out an SOS. So that was playing as I walked up to do that was my walk-up music, like I was batting, But I went up to do my cooking demo, and my friend's son always says, remember that time The Police opened for you? So that was my big moment. SOS for my walk-up. That's a bad sign when you have SOS as your walk-up.
And what a song to play before a French toast demonstration.
Oh, gosh. It was, yeah, it wasn't a good prep. It should have been something a little more lively. Would have been better. But anyway, that's my funny French toast connection story. So I hope you get a chance to try it. Try some of these recipes that I do. This is my thought for this podcast is I remember hearing old time radio cooking shows from tapes and stuff like that, and they did these cooking shows, and they would talk you through baking something, and like they were baking it too, so they would say, and look, we're taking the cake out of the oven, isn't it? And it's radio, so of course you can't see or smell it, but the person's acting like you can. So I think it would be a neat idea to have something you could listen to for a cooking show and try it. So I hope you get a chance to try some of these recipes and taste them for yourself and see how they are. And let me know if you do. You can contact me via my Facebook page, marymacbakehouse.com. And thank you for listening today. If you did, and if you didn't, too bad for you.